Sonido, sonido. Vamos a ver si ya me puedo escuchar. Voy aquí. Ok, vamos a seleccionar el avión. Cessna 172. Condition. Vamos a colocar. Yo quisiera. A mí siempre me gusta hablar en vivo, pero voy a tener que seleccionar. El tema es que yo no sé si el weather corresponde a la hora. A ver, use the history time slider to go back over the 24 hours with real-time weather data. Back over the last 20 hours with real-time weather data. Once a flight plan is set, the time slider automatically updates to the local time at your flight location. No sé, vamos a ver si esto es lo que yo creo que pasa. Tan 6 y 6. Pero aquí dice que live, entiendo que no creo. Y vamos a darle atrás. Vamos a elegir el aeropuerto. Start fly. Pero efectivamente esto no era lo que yo esperaba. Ah, bueno, sí, parece que está amaneciendo. Espérate un momentico. Vamos a colocar aquí weather. Ya aquí. Listo. Bueno, supongamos que hacemos la inspección. Yo no voy a perder mucho tiempo aquí en temas de la inspección. Vamos a quitar aquí algunos covers. Ok. Perfecto. Listo. Entonces aquí lo que vamos a hacer es que todo debería estar apagado. Listo. Entonces esto lo quito. Perfecto. Ahora lo que voy a hacer es chequear la lista aquí. Entonces nos vamos aquí a documentos. Entonces tenemos el manual de vuelo, el manual de operaciones, pilot operational handbook del Cessna 172 y vamos a normal procedures. Entonces aquí y voy a ir a otro documento que es este y nos vamos para y vamos aquí donde dice eso. Y lo que voy a hacer es chequear el procedimiento normal de despegue y demás. Bueno, de hecho tenemos aquí un índice. Aquí es emergency procedures, post-flight, abnormal procedures, flight maneuvers, time. Dice general, standard operating procedures, preferred procedures, normal procedures, cabin checklist, a fuselage. Okay, section. Let me see if we have a traffic pattern departure. Okay, this is traffic pattern departure. Standard maneuvers, taxi, takeoff, climb, and departure. Traffic departure. Per maneuver checklist. ¿Qué tenemos aquí en esta? Ok. Run up checklist, standard. Start. Before start checklist. 1.56. Bueno, yo voy a seguir lo que es la checklist que tengo en la mano. 1. Fly maneuvers, duties verbal, pilot flying, pilot monitoring, before going taxi. The primary flight the pilot flying record the taxi instruction if. Ok, entonces no voy a hacer lo siguiente. Yo voy a hablar con la checklist en mano. Rápidamente la voy a coger. Listo, ready. Lo que tengo en mano, que no se los puedo mostrar porque pues de pronto cuando active la cámara, que hoy no lo haré, es la lista de chequeo, en el cual pues vamos a asumir que ya hicimos el pre-flight inspection. Is done. Windshield check before start engine. So we are going to go straight to before start engine. So pre-flight inspection complete, passenger brief. So we need to describe this. Nosotros tenemos una lista de chequeo mental que hacemos un acrónimo que es SAFETI o en inglés safety. Entonces S stands for seatbelt and seat. We need to demonstrate how the passenger need to use and secure the seatbelts and seats. Air vents. How many air vents do we have? So check. Have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we go to the pilot operational handbook here at document, right? I'm gonna increase here. Right. Entonces, si vamos al POH, buscamos airband. No tenemos airband. Airplane. Bueno, entonces, ¿dónde podemos encontrar los sistemas del avión? Entonces, si nos vamos para el inicio de del POH, sabemos que tiene un orden, que es General, Limitation, Emergency Procedures, Normal Procedures, Performance, Weight and Balance, and Equipment List, Airplane and System Description, Handling, Service, and Maintenance, and Supplement. So we gotta check for the chart number 7, que habla de Airplane and System Description. Entonces ahí vamos al 7 y en el 7 debemos de encontrar la descripción del sistema de Airbnb. Vamos a ver, 7. Esto tendrá aquí tenemos todo el índice de cada uno de los sistemas. Entonces, el que primero encuentre Airbnbs, tenemos introducción, airframe, flight control, flight instrument, ground control, wings, gear cylinder, propeller, fuel system, brake, electrical, lighting system, cabin heat, ventilating, and defrosting system. So 7.62. 7.62. 7.62. Cabin heat. Okay, so the temperature and volume of airflow into the cabin can be regulated by manipulation of the push-pull. Okay, look at this. Push and pull. Cabin heat and cabin air control knob. Refer to figure 7.8, which is this one, right? Both control knobs are the W button locking type and permit intermediate control setting. For cabin ventilation, pull the cabin air control knob full out. To raise the air temperature, pull cabin heat control knob approximately 1/4 to 1/2 inch of a small cabin heat. Additional heat value. Okay, for cabin heat, separate adjustment ventilation supply additional air. One near each upper corner of the windshield supply air for the pilot and from passenger, and 2 ventilation are available for the rear cabin area supply. So it's safe. Separate adjustable ventilators supply additional air. One near each upper corner. So this means that we have 2 corner of the windshield supply air to the pilot and from passenger. Okay, 2 and 2. So this means we got 4 ventilators are available for the rear cabin area to supply air to the rear seat passenger. There are additional ventilators located in various positions in the cockpit. There are additional ventilators, so they don't see the specific. So we got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So basically, rear A, 2, which is these 2 in front of the passenger, right? One is here, the other is here. 1 and 2. So we got 4 in the front area, which is the same that we have here on the POH. 4. Back in the rear cabin, we have upper air outlets, other 2. That is coming using the ventilating air. So ram air, ventilating air, cabin or air, forward cabin. Okay, then we have ventilators, air door, adjustable defrost, cabin floor air outlet, cabin floor air outlet. So we have another 2 in the lower area for the cabin floor air outlet. Okay. Después de explicar el air vent, fire extinguisher, so we have one fire extinguisher, should be here in the middle of the 2 seats, and we need to check the proper pressure into the green arc. Exit doors and emergency evacuation plan. So basically we need to show to our passenger, tenemos que mostrarle a los pasajeros el propio o correspondiente uso de las puertas, cómo las aseguramos o cómo las abrimos, cómo las aseguramos, las ventanas igualmente, y el plan de evacuation plan, which is basically if something happened, the passenger should run or walk behind of the aircraft. Why? The reason is because the propeller can still running, so to avoid dangerous, the people should walk behind of the aircraft. This is basically so traffic and steady cockpit. This base traffic and steady cockpit. So traffic just means that in case of our passengers see any other aircraft close to us, and it's important that they can help us to identify the position of the aircraft while using the timer or the reference of the different hours on a watch. Like if the aircraft is in front of us, select 12, right? 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and again 12 o'clock. And static copy, básicamente static copy es que en fases, en realidad por debajo de los 10.000 pies para aerolíneas y obviamente de aviación general, no se debe hablar de nada más que no sea la operación. For under 10,000 feet, the pilots and passenger and everyone inside of the cabin should maintain quiet or speed just concerning to the operation of the flight. That's why we need to remember the passenger anytime that we say static copy is because only conversation should be concerning to the operation of the flight. Any question? No questions. That basically is the safety checklist to prepare passenger and do a passenger brief. So passenger brief completed. Seat at seatbelt secure, door close and lock, secret brake. Okay, circuit brakes or are checking in. Electrical switches all should be in off position. Avionics master off. Fuel selector both. Fuel off, pushing in. Standby battery test 10 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and R. Okay. Standby battery is in R position. Immediately we need to check the essential bus, 24 bus, check. Emboss volts less than 1.5, check. So immediately essential bus 24 volts and main bus 1.5, less than 1.5. Now it's 0, which is normal because the main battery is not working right now. We are using the standby battery to supply the aircraft. Standby annunciator. Estas son las standby annunciator. Low ball oil pressure normally because we have the engine off. Standby battery is discharging and low vacuum check. Not red X on engine instrument. Perfect. Not red X. Master on. Master on. Beacon lights on. Beacon lights on. Then we need to do the engine start procedure. So this is a cool engine start. Remember that we have two ways, dos tipos de encendida de motor, que es encendido motor en frío o motor caliente. Entonces cualquier momento que tengamos la temperatura de combustible en arco verde, consideramos que es un encendida de motor caliente. Now it's in a cool engine start. So the cool engine start procedures, we need to use the fuel pump. Okay. So basically we need to pump the fuel. So the procedures, it say power and mixture should be off. Total open one, oh, sorry. Total open 1 quart, right there. Fuel pump on. Fuel pump on. Increase mixture 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mixture cut off. Fuel pump off. Perfect. Now we need to use the rudder's pedals right there. Actually, I have the parking brake set. We need to say clear prop to make sure everyone around us know that we are going to turn on the engine. Ignition. So we need to start or using the ignition key by 5 to 7 seconds and don't overheat. After we are waiting for 5 seconds, we need to advance the mixture to turn on the engine. And after that, we need to immediately check select 800 set power to RPM of 800 and check the instrument engine instrument. So clear prop, both. Excellent. Mixture rich, keys in both position. Excellent. And continue with the checklist. So engine instrument in green, check. Oil temperature, we need to wait until goes up and it become heat, or at least in green arc. 1200, check avionics master on, so turn on the avionics. Perfect. After the avionics master on, flaps up, flaps are already up. Headset on, check. Light set, so we are going to use the landing light, taxi light, navigation light, and I'm gonna leave the strobe light off. After that, move to the run-up area to check the brake. So basically, we are at the run-up area. We are going to turn off the multifunctional display, which is the display at the right side. Checking the database is updated up to August 5 of this year. Enter. Perfect. Just gonna move slightly to the right. So parking brake release. I just gonna increase a little bit power. Use rudder pedal. What? What happened? ¿Por qué no? ¿Por qué no? ¿Y ahora qué? ¿Por qué no? Ah, pero ¿y cómo quito eso? ¿Cómo es que no lo voy a quitar? Voy a bajar. Lo que se me da entonces, checking brakes work. Just gonna move my aircraft to the right. I need to leave the aircraft. To the right. Perfect. Stop and continue with the checklist. Brakes check. After start, multifunctional display check. Multifunctional display check. Fuel remaining, so we need to check engine, system. So this is fuel, so we need to set color remaining, fuel fuel. It doesn't change, or it doesn't move. Okay, so normally at the beginning of the training of the day, the flight, all the fuel should be full. I mean, depend of the school, but in my school all the time is full fuel. It's not half, not 70%, always 53. So we need to select 53. After that, measure lean. So lean. So for the proper leaning, we need to set power to 1200 RPM. Right there. Okay, don't be I mean, if it's perfectly exactly, it's okay. And then we need to decrease the measure while twisting to the left smoothly. And what we need to check is to measure the all cylinders coming up and also the beginning of the dropping of the RPM. After the RPM drop abruptly, then we need to add some 3 movement approximately to the right. So I am decreasing the measure. A car is coming. Now it's almost to stop, so I increase a little bit. Back to 1200, but in limb. Right there, it's already lean. So if you see, this is not completely full reach, and then select power to less than 800. So measure lean and total 1000 RPM or less. Okay, that's all. System, engine, cylinder. Okay, then we are in the run up area. So basically what we're gonna do is follow the checklist of the run up. For fuel selected both, Mr. Rich, fuel quantity check, total 1000 RPM, (1800 RPM). Okay, 1800 RPM. Check. Fuel quantity check. Okay. Magnetos. So we need to check the magneto. So I'm gonna check first the right magneto. And we need to check that no more than 150 RPM drop is 1700. Back to both 1800. So it just dropped 100. Left magneto, no more than 150 RPM drop, and no more than 50 RPM difference between both. Now back to off. Engine instrument, so oil pressure check, oil temperature check, all in green. Ammeters and voltmeters are charging. Suction gauges check, throttle to idle. Smoothly, we need to check the power to idle for a couple of seconds to check the engine doesn't stop. Chequeamos que en posición de idle, la potencia, el motor no se apague. Y entonces hacemos nuevamente mixture ring. Entonces hacemos el mismo procedimiento, elegimos 1200 RPM aproximadamente y vamos trayendo atrás la mezcla. Ahí va cayendo, la adelantamos un poquitico y volvemos a 1200 RPM, pero ya no con full mixture, ¿sí ven? Perfecto. Y ponemos la potencia a menos de 1000 RPM. Menos de 1000 RPM, entre 800 y 1000 está adecuada. Luego una vez hayamos terminado, vamos a hacer el before takeoff. So we need to select 80s. So the 80s for the Kissimmee. I don't have Kissimmee in my favorite. I can't believe. So Kissimmee is here. Exacto. Entonces vamos aquí, abrimos el mapa, borro la información que había hecho en mi último vuelo. De hecho, puedo sincronizar aquí el vuelo, el avión específicamente. Entonces me voy aquí a mis carpetas, busco busco simulador, busco fly event, activo fly event, excelente. Y luego me voy aquí a mi for fly y busco dónde está mi fly event. Vamos a ver si ya device, y no aparece el fly event. ¿Será que se supone que el fly event se debe conectar automáticamente? Pero no se conectó porque yo nunca he conectado este dispositivo. Yo nunca he conectado este dispositivo, que ese dispositivo es nuevo. ¿Cómo es que hago? Spectrum, Sí, debería estar conectado, pero bueno, de pronto ahorita que iniciemos taxeo. Por ahora Vamos a continuar con checklist. Entonces nos vamos aquí. Y que estamos viendo que la frecuencia del ETIS es 128.775. Entonces seleccionamos 128.775. Aquí tengo estoy utilizando el Logitech Audio Panel de 5 y lo activo.
Airport information Yankee 0100 Zulu. Wind 227 at tree. Visibility 10. Sky condition ceiling 14,400 broken. Temperature 25. Dew point 2 tree. Altimeter tree 012. ILS runway 15 in use. Landing and departing runway 24. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Yankee.
Entonces tenemos Yankee.
Kissimmee Airport information Zulu 0100 Zulu. Wind 227 at tree. Visibility 10. Sky condition ceiling 14,400 broken. Temperature 25. Dew point 2 tree. Altimeter tree 012. ILS runway 15 in use. Landing and departing runway 24. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Zulu. Kissimmee Airport information Zulu 0100 Zulu.
Listo.
Wind 227.
Ya que lo escuchamos, ¿cierto? Entonces hacemos un briefing. Tenemos información Yankee. Viento viene de los 220 grados de 3 nudos. Quiere decir que en la práctica vamos a utilizar la pista 24 for departures and landing, and the wind is coming from 220. That means that this is 240, 230, 230. Like is coming from here in this direction, the wind, right? So we have left crosswind, but it's too little, it's just 3 knots. Visibility more than 10 status mile, temperature 24, dew point 23, altimeter 3012. So basically what we need to do is set the altimeter setting to our instrument immediately. So aquí me voy al avión 3012. Okay, 3012. Also the standby should be set for 3012. 30. This is 3012. 3012. ¿Qué tenemos que chequear una vez que seleccionemos el altímetro? The altitude indication should be within the 75 feet of the field elevation. I need to check difference. 57 is okay. Develop mode. Exit develop mode. Excellent. So now follow the checklist. Altimeter comms. So I need to select comms for Kissimmee Tower 124.45, 124.45. One to 4.45. Check. 1 to 4.45 and then select ground, which is 1 to 1.7. 1 to 1.7. ¿Y por qué esto está moviendo? ¿Por qué está moviendo los dos? Oh, come to 1 to 1.7. Perfect. And 1 to 4.45. Okay, tower 1 to 4.45. Ground 1 to 1.7. I just put that in the second, but also I need to put that in the first one, just for redundancy. Perfect. So the active is 1 to 4.45 right now. So come altimeter set GPS, so I need to check the GPS. So I need to come here. Okay, what? Rough navigate. What is this? I don't know what is this about it. FD, okay, no thanks, later. Okay, was successful linked. Okay. I have never did this before. Listo. So now we need to check the database. So map auxiliary. Okay, this is no as the same of the real airport information NDV. No, oh, GPS status is right here. So we have no available GPS status to check the rain was set. Okay, flight instrument heading book. So I normally like to select the wings direction, which is coming from 220 at 3 knots. So 220. Why? Because all the time I need to have a situational awareness to make the proper wind correction during taxi. I know some schools like to put the runway that you are going to use for the part, but I just use the wind 220 at 3. Perfect. Fly is so well, we need to check for the fly instrument. Tenemos que chequear el altímetro. Excuse me, the airspeed 0. Check altitude indicator is just about the horizon, which is normal. Field elevation within the 75 feet of the field elevation. Right, we are 84 above the mid sea level. Right, all is set. Then while we are taxiing, we need to check the free movement of the slip ski indicator, rate of turn, free movement of the CDI, and also we need to check the magnetic compass. Also we need to measure that the heading match the same position of the magnetic compass. Check, all is perfect. Standard instrument, speed 0, altitude indicator, field elevation 80, within the 75 feet of the field elevation, which is okay. We need to check the autopilot. How can we test the autopilot? So basically we need to select the heading. Let me see if this moves. So nav 1 con 1. ME. Interesting. Porque yo sé que puedo mover nav 1, nav 1, F. Yeah, I remember. It's just right here. So the heading, just gonna put the heading here to 0, and we can engage the autopilot. What we are going to do with the autopilot, we need to select the movement of the heading left, and we need to check. Okay, we need to select heading. Where is the heading here? Okay, see. So we need to select heading mode, and then the control is moving to the left. Then we need to check to the right, and then the control should move to the right. Perfect. It's a little weird movement of the control, but okay. Then we need to back to 0, check the altitude. So we need to select altitude. No, basically the pitch up. So for the altitude, part of the instrument check, we need to select the altitude at which we are going to climb up. So altitude here, let's select 1100. This is the traffic pattern altitude. I don't know what happened with the heading. Okay, then pitch up. You see, so the flight control should move backward to make sure it's working correctly. Autopilot engage, pitch up. Well, it doesn't move, but should move in real life. Also, when we press pitch down, then this should move to forward. Okay, autopilot disengage. Autopilot test, autopilot on, flight control, autopilot disconnect, flight director off. Flight director off. Then we need to set trim for takeoff. Perfect. And we need to do the takeoff brief. What is the takeoff brief? So basically we are going to use we are here at the Academy of Aviation. We need to tax via Alpha, cross runway 24 and 6, continue on Alpha, then turn right on Bravo, and hold short runway 24 at this taxiway that it doesn't to hotel hotel is the taxiway here. Why I don't choose to turn right here? Because in the simulator this taxiway doesn't exist. Okay, so continue. Taxi brief completed. Light set, check. Taxi clearance, I need to speed with ground and obtain clearance. I'm gonna perform a normal takeoff. Taxi clear, flight instrument, check into turn. So suppose that we are already clear. Suppose that we are clear for taxi via Alpha, cross runway 24, Bravo, and hold short at hotel runway 24. Okay, so we need to check the free movement of the instrument. So the ellipse key indicator to the opposite direction of the turn, heading indication is moving, and rate of turn is moving to the same direction of the turn. So we need to select. So what we are going to check? We are going to check a ellipse key indicator, then rate of turn, and then free movement of the CDI. So checking ellipse key indicator, opposite direction, rate of turn, check to the same direction of the turn, and heading is moving, and it match with the magnetic compass. Check. That's it basically that we need to check. I don't remember if we need to check anything else. So it's taxi. For taxi, it's important to just increase power a little bit, more than 1000, to start advanced forward, but then 1000 or below. Just let the aircraft move forward slowly. We don't need to rush. We are on taxiway Alpha. Make sure we can see left and right. Suppose that we are clear to cross runway 24 and 6. So okay, look, if I turn to the right, we don't have taxiway. I don't think so. I will stop here in the middle to check to the right that for sure we don't have taxiway here. You see, the taxiway is still right there, so there is a building there. So we need to continue. As we continue, my procedures is turn off the strobe light to let the other aircrafts see that I am crossing runway. Increase a little bit the speed of taxi while crossing a runway, which is very important to maintain the active runway clear, and smoothly power back to less than 1000 feet and slow down a little bit. As we are getting slow, then smoothly excellent. Now try to maintain the center line using your ruler. It's very important during your checkride to avoid apply brakes, because that means that you know how to control the aircraft energy while taxiing. For sure, if you need to use brake, use it. Normally, as when I cross the runway, the after runway is a good moment to use rudder's brakes, manually brakes, to slow down, because I just increase the speed to cross the active runway. But after that, look that I am not using my brakes, and just let the aircraft move forward slowly. And algo que no hice, que debía hacer, es corregir el crosswind. I didn't pay attention to the to the wings correction. Now the wing correction is from 2 to 0, which means from the behind us at the right side. So what we need to do, move the control to the left and full forward. This is the correct movement of to the crosswind component while taxiing. Continue smoothly and power to idle because we are almost about to stop. Slow down a little bit, press brake smoothly. And I love to stop facing to the final approach because I can see the final approach segment to check another aircraft if it's coming, right? Entonces después de chequear que ningún avión esté en aproximación, lo que voy a hacer es hacer el before takeoff checklist. So flaps set, flaps up, landing lights on, strobe lights off, transponder alt mode. Transponder is already okay. Let me check the transponder. Back. Transponder. We need to select alt mode 1200. Mission reach. Mission for reach. Window close. Check. Runway heading. So then I need to select the runway heading, which is 24, right? Before takeoff checklist completed. So News Mirror Tower, November 123 Sierra Papa is holding short runway 24 at hotel ready for departure. So they give me the clearance to depart. So after I receive the clearance to depart, just going immediately to add power, right? And we can avoid to stop, just slowly, right? We have been cleared for takeoff, smoothly. Smooth brakes. Always the checkride is paying attention to the use of the brake, not too hard, right? So as we are select power, release brake, full power. The wind is coming from the left side smoothly. Airspeed is alive. Engine instrument in green. 40 knots, 55 rotate. So try to maintain the runway heading, and always your nose should be looking for the horizon. So if you see above my shell, I can see the horizon all the time. Normally we need to pitch up to maintain 74 knots. Positive climb. Excellent. So pitch up to maintain 74 knots. 300 below the TPA traffic pattern altitude, we need to start turning to the crosswind leg. So 300 feet below is 800 right now. So turn left. This is a standard turn, standard traffic pattern, which is basically all turns should be to the left with a standard turn, which is basically, and I reach the altitude of the traffic pattern, so I need to level off right here and continue turning. Look for the 90 degrees to the left, right? Perfect. After takeoff checklist, flaps are, landing lights off, power climb set. So I need to decrease the power and turn to the left, maintaining 1100. So 2000 RPM is okay for the traffic pattern. Left turn while maintaining 1100, and left rudder to maintain coordinated. If you see the slip ski indicator, it's telling me that we need to apply a little bit left rudder. So I am maintaining 1100, right? And perfect, good coordination and smoothly movement on control to be at downwind. This is the long downwind leg. You can apply a little bit trim to release the pressure on the control. I was descending a little bit, a smooth correction. It doesn't matter if you move from the altitude. The most important is make sure you describe every second what you are doing, what you are thinking, to measure your instructor or the DPE, designated pilot examiner, know what you are doing, right? So check left. This is the runway. We are at the middle of the runway that we are intending to land. Perfect. So above the numbers right there, I need to select power 1500 RPM and start descending smoothly. Below 110, flaps 10. Perfect. We are descending smoothly. We need to check to a 45 degrees angle between you and the runway of intended use, and start turning left with a standard rate of turn, normally 15 degrees of bank, and left rudder to maintain coordinated, right? Excellent. 300 feet per minute, 400, 500 feet per minute is okay, not too much. After you get the 90 degrees to the left, then below 85, flaps 20, check your runway. When you increase flaps, the tendency of the aircraft is to pitch up, so we need to maintain to descend. Now we need to start turning to the left smoothly, right? And always try to maintain. Okay, we have a too much low speed. We need to maintain 65 knots on final. Flaps below 85, full flaps. I just undershoot the final approach. That's my bad. Back practice, back maneuvers, but let's do it. So, and try to maintain 65 knots. 65 knots. If you are too low, if you are too slow, you need to pitch down. Pitch for speed, power for altitude. But actually, I think that this is not correct. All should be like together, right? Altitude and pitch at the same time to correct. The wind is coming from the left, just 3 knots. Perfect. 60 knots. This is not a good speed. Power to idle. Pitch smoothly. Excellent. Flaps 10, full power. Maintain directional control. Wind is coming from the left. 55. Rotate. Excellent. You hear the stall? The stall is not normally in the real life practice. This aircraft is no study level, so all the RPM, power setting, while on the traffic pattern is not as good as the real one, even not close. So pitch up to maintain 74 knots. 75, excuse me, right there, 75, about 65, flaps up, pitch up, maintaining runway heading. After we climb up more than 800 feet, 800 feet is 300 feet below the TPA, 800 feet, start turning left rudder to maintain coordinated and maintain 74 knots while climbing. 74, 1100, smoothly pitch down just to stop climbing, right? And this is my 90 degrees, 1100, and the power is increasing about 95. We are going to decelerate the RPM, right, to the speed for the traffic pattern right there, which is 2000 RPM right now. Then I'm gonna continue turning to the left, 15 degrees of band. I just exceed the traffic pattern altitude, so I just gonna descend smoothly. We don't need to do an abrupt correction, just smoothly descending right there, 2000 RPM, and 1100, parallel to the runway, to the opposite to the direction of land, right? And we need just to maintain 1100, right? So all the time check your altitude, check your speed, 90 knots, 2000 RPM, and always it depends on the pressure of the air, the density, all that, but normally the same RPM select during your traffic pattern is better to decrease the workload if you know how much RPM to put during each phase of your traffic pattern, right? So maintaining altitude 1100, we are a little bit up above. Check for the runway, this is the runway, so power to 1500 or above, below 110 flaps 10, and start turning to the left, maintaining coordinated, pressing left rudder and increase bank to 15 degrees. After you reach your 90 degrees, you are still maintaining descending below 85 flaps 20, add power, right? Check your runway, we are not yet there. This is a good speed on base, 70 knots, right? And smoothly start turning to the left, apply left rudder to maintain coordinated, right? And on final, remember 65 on final, so 65 on final, below 85 flaps full, and now my speed will drop abruptly. We need to push the nose downward to maintain speed. You can add power if you wish. This is my 65, look for 65, pitch down a little bit, right? Almost right there in my 65. You need to add power smoothly to maintain the 65, and proper glide path is better, right? 65. And after you get down, you can power to idle right, and smoothly flare, 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 flare. Excellent. Flaps 10, full power, maintain directional control. This is the last one. Looking for 55, 55, rotate. Use brakes, maintain directional control, maintain runway heading. Looking for 74. So as you get your 74, increase pitch to don't let the speed to increase too much. So looking for 74 right there. So make sure you memorize what is the appropriate pitch to maintain 74. If you see, my best pitch is just at the 10 degrees pitch up to be close to my 74. A little movement of the wing. Now you need to fight against the wind. Looking for my 800 feet to start turning left. 800 feet is below the TPA, traffic pattern altitude. Check upside behind you. Your runway should be behind you. Perfect. Little bit to the left. 800 feet. Pitch maintain 74 and 15 degrees pitch of bank. Right? Looking for 74. So always don't focus on one thing. All in aviation is about multitask. Right? So looking for my 90 degrees left. I'm too fast. I reach my 1100 pitch down or at winds level. 90 degrees. The airspeed is increasing. I need to maintain this RPM about 95 RPM is knots, and then right there is when I need to decrease the power to 2000 RPM and start turning to the left at 1100. So almost excellent correction. Left rudder. Another good advice is don't focus on the instrument. All the time you need to check upside. Make sure 2 seconds inside and then upside. 2 seconds inside, then upside. It's basically a cross check. Check your airspeed, check your altitude, check your heading, check your distance, and memorize your attitude with regard to the horizon of the air. Right there is mine. Little bit more. Okay, I need to check my runway. I am basically passing the middle, right? And I'm gonna do a short field landing, which is basically looking for 61 on final. This is the beginning of the runway, right? I've been the numbers, power to 1500, a little bit more, right? And below 110 flaps 10. Short field landing is basically when we need to land in a runway that is not too long, when it's too short, right? So we need to land right at the beginning of the runway or the selecting point that you choose. Below 85 flaps 20. Pitch down to don't let the aircraft drop too much. Look in your runway. Right? And then we need to turn to the left smoothly, left rudder to maintain coordinated. Right? I did all my turns too much before. Increase power to maintain altitude, right? and looking for 61 full flaps, and I will try to land just at the marking touchdown marking sign. So forward and looking for 61. Basically the approach should be very like vertical. This is my 61, so the landing should be like abrupt, like you need to feel the aircraft touch the ground a little hard. Right here, right there, and use jog full up, don't let the tail strike, and apply full power. Let's give me full brakes, and I'm just gonna go right here to the right, which is a runway. No, it's not a runway. We are in taxiway alpha, so I need to pass the whole shore marking at the pavement, and then do the after landing checklist, right? Perfect. So you need to check you completely pass the line of the whole shore right there. So let's see. Perfect. Right there. So if you select above, make sure it lights on. So after landing checklist, trim set for takeoff. So trim set for takeoff is already set. Flaps up. Landing lights off. Landing lights off. Mixture lean. So remember 1200. All this should be do it a little bit more fast, right? And decrease mixture at the point that you check the aircraft RPM drop abruptly right there. So a little bit increase mixture until 1200, and then power to idle, or 800 feet, 800 RPM. Michelin taxi clearance. So we are going to tax via. We are in echo, right? Okay, we was in echo. Right turn on alpha. Back to the school. Now power apply. Not aircraft at the right. Right is clear. Left is clear. Continue. Make the proper correction in the yoke for the wings component. I know where I am. I just already passed the runway. That's my bad. I did a wrong. I just need to go to the right. Cross runway 2, 4, and 6. Oh, look at this. Yes, right. So we are going to turn on the strobe light, increase the speed to cross the runway. Back to echo. You know what? If I land okay, stop here, parking brake. Parking brake set. Chill down, throttle to idle, avionics master off, lights off, mixture cut off, master off, standby battery off, ignition switch off, keys placed on the board, flight control pitot cover lock, okay, fuel pump, fuel selector left or right, sunscreen installed, doors locked, tie down, secure, all shutdown checklist completed. So I just practice this time. Next will be some maneuvers. See you everyone. Thank you for watching.